welcome to my channel. My name is Dina. On this episode, we're going to start a brand new series called Lipstick Look. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this classic red lip, then I'll meet you right back here in a sec. Now, choosing the right colors is very important whenever you're doing a color lipstick. So you don't want to pick out any eyeshadow and just throw on any random blush or bronzer. It's very important that you tailor your colors according to your lip, just so that way you don't look overly made up or have too much color all over your face. So whenever dealing with a really bold lip, like a classic red, it's very important that everything else is neutral or muted. So I'm going to be giving you my personal recommendations on what I love to wear on my face and eyes whenever I'm doing a red lip. So I already have a little bit of eyeshadow on. Since I don't want it to be a eyeshadow tutorial, I want it to be mainly on the canvas of our face and on our lip. So I do have concealer and foundation on right now. If you need help picking out a concealer and foundation, I do help you in my concealer and foundation tutorial. So you're more than welcome to refer back to those videos and then come back to this video, so that way we can be on the same page in achieving this red lip look. So I already have my blank canvas, so now I'm going to go ahead and start adding color. So the very first thing that I'm going to dip into is my bronzer. So I'm going to be using a warm tone bronzer, and then once I'm done, I'm going to contour with my cool tone bronzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my bronzer all over my face. Great, now once you're done applying your bronzer, now we're going to contour. So I'm going to dip into my cool tone bronzer using my angled brush. I'm going to go ahead and link for you all the brushes and products I am using down below. If you guys have any questions on where to apply bronzer and contour for your specific face shape, I help you in my bronzer tutorial. So that's a really helpful video for you guys as well if you guys need help just on simply where to apply bronzer or contour. Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue adding my contour powder. Great, now once you're done adding the bronzer and contour, it's very important that you begin adding a transition blush. So you don't want to go into the cheeks right away, otherwise it's going to be a very harsh contrast from brown to pink. So now I'm going to show you my favorite transition blush. So I've been using this for about 6 years now. It is Prism from MAC. It is the perfect transition shade before you start diving into any bright color. Now MAC blushes range from about, I believe, $20 to $25. I'll go ahead and link the accurate price for you down below, but I did find a dupe after 6 years. So this is really cool. So whenever I find an inexpensive dupe that does the same exact thing, if not better, I do always want to share it with you guys. So this is the transition blush that I've always been using, and this is the new one that I just found from shopaoa.com. So you can see it's literally the same exact color. This one, like I said, is around $20 to $25, and this I only purchased for $1, and it comes with a gorgeous highlighter that we are going to be using today. So now I'm going to dip into the transition blush. So I'm going to be using this color right over here, and you guys can really see how beautiful this color is. So I'm just going to place it right over here, so right before the apples of my cheek. So that way, once I do apply my blush right over here, it transitions to the bronzer very naturally and beautifully. You can already see how gorgeous this transition color is for only $1. So beautiful. You can also smile too. That helps you. It's like a guide. You might look a little funny in the mirror smiling at yourself, but whatever. We got to make sure that we put this in the right spot. Great. So once you're done applying your transition shade, now we are going to dive into a blush color. So I'm going to show you what blush color I love to use. A lot of people, whenever they do red lipstick, they always tend to lean towards a more pink blush. I personally don't like red and pink together. I feel like it's a little bit too made up and a little bit too much color. So I'm going to be using a really soft peach today. I think a soft peach just goes so beautifully with a classic red. So this is from shopaoa.com. Their blushes are only $1, and they're just so beautiful. You can collect so many different colors, and they're really small, so they're great. They're just the perfect amount of color. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. They are very pigmented as well and go on very beautifully. So I'm just going to dip both sides of my brush and tap off the excess, and then I'm going to place the blush right at the apples of my cheek. Just be sure not to go too close to your nose, just so that way you don't look sick. Any redness around the nose area will make you look sick. So just be careful and make sure it's a finger away from your nose. Great, now once you're done applying your blush, I personally like to amp up my blush. So I'll take a highlighter that's in a blush color. So I'm going to be using this right over here from MAC. Now, I did hit the pan on this because that's how amazing it is, but there is a dupe from Shop Miss A, so I'll go ahead and link the dupe for you down below. This specific one is discontinued, but I absolutely love this color. So I'm going to show you how it really does amp up your blush. So you just take a little bit of this and you place it right over your blush. And it's almost like a reflective pink pigment, so it really does just make your blush stand out a little bit more. So now I'm just going to do a little bit on this side. So I'm just placing it right on top of my blush, and you can see when I look at you in the camera, instantly my blush just looks a little bit more radiant and a little bit more flushed. So now that we are done with the face, now we're going to move on to the eyes before we move on to the lips. Okay, so now moving on with eyes. I already have my primer and basic eyeshadow set all over my eyes. If you need help picking out your basic eyeshadow set, or simply if you want to see how I did this look right over here, refer back to any of my rainbow tutorials where I literally do the same exact thing on all my videos before we start diving into color. So since we are doing a red theme today for our lip, I do want to keep my eyes a little bit more neutral. So like I said, I do have my basic palette all over my eyes, but I do want to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to be dipping into the KKW Beauty Mario palette because she has this really beautiful traditional classic gold. So I'm going to be using my basic eyeshadow brush, so just a traditional eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. Now I'm going to place this gold right at the inside corner. A red lip with gold is just so classic and so beautiful, and like I said, you do want to keep your colors light and bright whenever you're dealing with a red lip, just so that way it's not overly made up, but you still can do a smoky eye. It just has to be a classic neutral smoky eye, so nothing too dramatic. So I'm just going to place this gold right on my inside corner of my eyes. Great, now once you're done applying that classic gold, now I'm going to dip into this bronzy color. If you don't have a shade like this, go ahead and grab your actual bronzer. It's almost identical, so you can get away with that. So I'm going to use my medium-sized blending brush from e.l.f. Now, all the brushes that I am using for my eyes and face are under $8, so they are very, very inexpensive but effective. So I'm going to take my medium-sized blending brush, dipping into this bronzy color. Now I'm just going to place this color right on my outside corner, and then I'm also going to place it in the crease. So now I'm just adding more neutral colors to my eyelid. Great, so just a soft bronzy color to accompany that really beautiful gold. So outside corner, and then whatever's left over, go ahead and wipe that into your crease. Great. Now always have a clean eyeshadow brush on hand to blend and soften all your colors. If you personally don't have a lot of brushes to work with, Shop Miss A has a really cool in-between eyeshadow brush cleaner that you can take your brush and sweep all over, and it gives you a fresh, clean brush to use every single time. So this is great if you don't have a lot of brushes to use, and like I said, it's only $1. So now I'm just going to soften and blend the gold with that really beautiful bronzy brown. So just using the tip of my brush, I'm just going to soften and blend just to make sure that there is no harsh lines. Great, now once you're done softening and blending, now let's enhance our lower lash line. So for this step, grab your really small detailed crease brush, and now we're going to dip into this color, the same exact color, that bronzy color right over here. And for this step, grab your handheld mirror because we do want to place it right up underneath our lash line. It's really important to dust a little bit of eyeshadow underneath your lash line. Overall, it does make your eyes look less made up. So if I take a look at you in the camera, you can see how on this side it does look a little bit heavy, and then when I turn this way, how overall it looks more seamless and more connected. So now I'm just going to take that same bronzy color and dust it right up underneath on this side, so on my lower lash line. And then once I'm done, we're going to add a chocolatey brown color just to make this look a little bit more smoky. So now I'm going to dip into this color right over here, just a traditional chocolate brown using that same exact eyeshadow brush, but I'm not going to take this all the way up underneath my lash line. I'm just going to focus it right at the outside corner of my lower lash line and on my top of my lash line, just so that way you can see I'm connecting the two lash lines together. Great, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and you can really see how it does make your eyes look more almond and a lot smokier. So this color, we're just taking it right up underneath our lash line, And then we're also going to connect the two lash lines. So we're going to do the bottom lash line and the top lash line. Great. Now once we're done with that, we are going to grab our blending brush one more time, and we're just going to soften the work that we just did right underneath, just so that way you don't see the line of where your eyeshadow meets your makeup. So everything is super seamless and almost airbrushed, which is really, really beautiful. When it comes to makeup, it's all about blending. So whether you're doing your face makeup or your eye makeup, it's very important that you blend your makeup. Great. And also to have two different views of vision. So have a up close mirror just to make sure everything is perfectly symmetrical, and then also to look in a far away mirror just so that way you can make sure everything is symmetrical as well. Great. Now once we're done with that, I'm going to add one last shade to our eyes just to kind of enhance that red theme. So I'm going to dip into this really beautiful, almost maroon mahogany color right over here using my medium-sized blending brush. Now I'm just going to take this in my crease. I'm not going to place it on my eyelid whatsoever. I'm just going to take this right over here. So I want to place it right in the crease. Beautiful. And you can really see how it's just this like almost like red hint of color just peeking through on the lid. Great. So now I'm just going to dust a little bit on this side just to tie the look together. Perfect. Great. Now once we're done with that, we are going to grab our blending brush for one last time, and I'm going to use the in-between eyeshadow brush cleaner to show you how it does remove the pigment and turn your brush white. So it does give you a fresh, clean brush that is dry. It's not even wet, which is really cool. So now I'm just going to soften and blend this red that we just applied. Perfect. Now once we're done with that, we are going to line our eyes. Now I'm going to use my e.l.f. liquid liner. I personally love a liquid liner for a red lip. It's so classic and so beautiful. So if you want to see how I apply my liquid liner, please refer to my eyeliner and lashes video where I teach you step by step how to create the perfect wing liner for your specific eye shape. Alright you guys, I just got done doing my liner and lashes off camera, so now I want to show you how beautiful this highlighter is that comes with our transition blush. It's such a beautiful highlighter. It gives almost like a wet, dewy effect. It doesn't have a chunky glitter, so that's what I personally look for in a highlighter. I don't like anything that you can personally see on your skin. I like it when it has a radiant effect. So this is a really beautiful sheer highlighter if you are looking for one. Right, so you just want to place it at the top of your cheekbones, down the center of your nose, on the tip of the nose, right on your cupid's bow. That will lift your top lip and also give you more of a pout. Great, now once you're done applying your highlighter, now we're going to dive into our lipstick. So for my classic red lip, I'm going to be using MAC's Russian Red Lipstick and KKW Beauty's Classic Red No. 3 Lip Liner. Now before I put lipstick on my lips, I suggest taking a little bit of powder with your powder brush and just dusting that all over your lips. Dusting a little bit of powder on your lips will make your lipstick last longer, and also too, it does give you a blank canvas before we start diving into any color. So the same way that we put foundation all over our face before we put on our blush and bronzer, the same concept goes for your lips as well. So you do want to have a blank canvas, so just take a little bit of powder and dust it all over your mouth. Great. Now once we're done with that, you do want to start off with your lipstick. So don't line your lips first, because if you line your lips and then put on your lipstick, and then if your lipstick comes off, you are left with that ring around your lip. So to avoid having that line around your mouth, if your lipstick does come off, it's very important that you do put lipstick on first. So I'm going to apply my MAC Russian Red. Now I like to warm up my lipstick on my back of my hand first before I take it on my actual lips. And now I'm just going to place this all over. So I'll do a line at my bottom lip, and then I'll mix my lips together, and then I'll start lining my lips. So now I'm going to warm up my lip liner as well. Great, now once you're done applying your lip liner all over, now we're gonna tie off the look by adding one more layer of lipstick. So just take your lipstick and now we're gonna apply it all over. Now that's a classic red. Absolutely love it. So it's very important that everyone does have a fun red lipstick. It's just always nice to have like a little pop of color during the holidays or for any special occasion. So I really hope that you guys loved our first episode of the lipstick looks. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment me down below. But until next time, I will see you on another episode, and thank you guys so much for being here. Take care and have a beautiful weekend wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye.